Hi, I'm Allie. Join me as I create this Bloomkiss necklace. It's really fun to do with some DropDuos and some other materials. You can make it long, short, you can make earrings out of it, and it's just a fun daisy chain pattern. If you need any materials, look below the video and we'll put in the description a link to get all of them. Let's get started. So to start this Bloomkiss necklace, I have some 4mm pearls, some DropDuos in the white Lila luster color, 15 O's, 8 O's, and 11 O seed beads. I'm using this from a live that I did to inspire and to help create our necklace. To begin, I have on a stop bead at the base of some thread, and don't worry, we'll be coming back up the middle of it so you can reinforce, and put it on your clasp as well here. To begin, I have on one 11O and then about 20 of my 15 O's just because it's going to be in the back of the necklace. I don't need to start my flowers right away. I'm going to start with one of my smaller flowers here, which is my gold seed beads. We're going to put 5 gold seed beads basically around the little pearl here. And we're going to add number 1 to begin our pearl. Then after we add our pearl, we're going to do that little daisy spacing. I'm going to add 1 of my green 15s and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of my 11 O's. I'm going to sew back through that pearl, putting those seed beads along the side. On the opposite side, I'm going to do 5 as well. And I'm going to sew back through the pearl. This time when I sew back through the pearl, I'm also going to sew through that 15O in the green color. Nice tight pull here, and you get your little first flower. If you want to, you can also have those sit closer together and just do 4 instead of 5 of the seed beads. Completely up to you, and you can change it as you're working on it. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a little bit more of this separation here with some of my seed beads, and you can change up exactly how far you put your flowers between one another. I have approximately 10 beads there. This time I'm going to put on a gold 11O. Then I'm going to put on one of my pearls. Then after the pearl, I'm going to put the gold 11O on again, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 of my 8O seed beads. After those 4 8O seed beads, I'm going to go back through the pearl and out. After coming out through there, 1, 2, 3, and 4 more of my 8O seed beads, back through the pearl, and also the 11O seed bead that sits after it. Doing that and putting the bead that sits after on right after your pearl helps to kind of make this stabilized and keeps those beads tight around the outer edge. From here, I'm going to do a couple more of my beads, making my chain. Again, you can be consistent, you don't have to be. And this time what we're going to do is I am going to do my little gold flower, and then we're going to do a leaf. So just like we were doing, I'm going to put on my pearl, put on my green 15O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seed beads through the pearl. And this moves really quickly and it's fun to teach kids too. I like the kind of modern romantic style of this. Back down through the pearl. When we get to the other side, also down through the green bead. Nice tight pull, and there's your second little flower on your daisy chain. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a little petal. So I'm going to do 1 and 2 and 3 11 O's after my flower. I'm going to use 1 gold bead, and then I'm going to do about 7 of my 15 O's. We're going to go back through that gold bead through the same way. So that's going to kind of make that face forward. Nice tight pull. See that how that creates just a little petal that's on there. From here, we're going to continue on. So I'm going to go through, put on some more seed beads, And then after those seed beads, go back and do my next flower. Now the petals will start to kind of create a turn in the design. I want that. I want it to look very organic and kind of freeform on my neck. If you don't want that turn, you want to go through that gold one from the opposite end. You can also kind of straighten it out as you go back through the design. Oh, I forgot my gold one here on the sides. And take that off. Put my gold one on. I'm going to do a couple more flowers in that same regard, and I'm going to start using a petal in between each one of them, that little stem. And then after that, I will show you how to do, because we're going to do a series of them, your little flowers that also hang down on your chain. Do you want to get over $100 of premium beads for only $34.99? The new and improved PotomacBeads treasure box is a beautiful assortment of high-quality beads featuring both classic and new materials. As a monthly subscriber, you'll save up to 60% off retail prices. Get your treasure box subscription today for only $34.99 and $100 worth of beads. Visit PotomacBeads.com/subscribe or click on the link in the description. So I've gone through and I started putting two little flowers between all of this here. You can see it's super cute. And I'm coming to the point where I'm going to add one of my little flowers here. And to add my little flower, I have on a 15 followed by 3 of my 11s and then another 15. I'm going to pick up my DropDuo going from the outer edge here on hole number 2. And I'm going to take my needle and thread back through the 15, 11, 15s and back through the DropDuo. So kind of circling around there. What that's going to do is attach this to the top of the piece. And then I'm going to go from the inner hole or the outer hole of that DropDuo to the inner hole of the DropDuo. Inner hole of the DropDuo, we're going to do 1 15, another DropDuo 15, and I'm going to do these in groups of 6. So I have 3 on, and they're going to sit separated by a 15-0, going through the small side of the DropDuo. So the interior, if you're thinking of it like a little petal. Getting back to the center after those 6 are on, make sure you have a 15 to separate them out, and sew back through hole number 1. That creates your first little flower that's going to sit on your daisy chain necklace here. We are going to go then from the bottom hole to the top hole, reversing the thread. There we go, nice tight pull. And we're going to go through now and connect with a yellow bead. So I'm going to go through with my 8/0 seed bead, go into the next DropDuo. I'm running low on thread because I just used thread end, but if you start out with about 5 feet of thread, that should get you a good distance. And then I always have videos showing how to go in and add more thread. You can search for that as well. Going around then, we're going to put on some more of our 8/0s between each one of our petals, and then we're going to decorate the outside with some more of the 15/0s and seed beads. As you're going back around the DropDuos now, and you're bringing your needle and thread through, putting in the last of the 8/0 seed beads, I want you to pick up one of the 15s that sits at the top of the DropDuo. You're going to sew through that as well as the 8/0. Once you're out of the 8/0 seed bead, you're going to add a 15, 3 of your 11/0s, and another 15. Skip over to the next 8 and sew through. This just decorates the outside and makes the flower a little bit bigger. You can see I had to add my thread right there. 15, 1, 2, 3/8, and a 15. Over to the next 8. Once again then, keep going the whole way around. Once you're the whole way around and through, you are going to go back up to the top, and we're just going to continue on basically with the daisies. Going in here, connecting all the dots. And then as we go in, up here, we're going to go through the 8/0 as well as through the the 15 there at the top. Nice tight pull. And that gets us our first little daisy on our piece. Now, I do want to go in and add just a little gold bead to the center of our daisy. So coming through the 15 here, I'm going to go through the drop duo, through the second hole. I'm going to go into the first hole of that same drop duo bead. You can either put a gold or an 8-0 in the middle. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to just put that tiny little 11-0 in. Pick up a gold 11-0 coming out of the drop duo. I'm going to go to the opposite side to this drop duo that sits opposite. Remember, there's 6 of them. I'm going to sew from the same side that the thread is coming out of towards the middle, through that 11-0 seed bead. Nice tight pull. You see a tiny bit of thread, but it's green, so it doesn't matter. And through that drop duo. That again just puts that little gold seed bead right in the middle. From here, go through your drop duo, the opposite side, going through the second hole. And then from there, we are going to jump up without our thread twisted around here. We are going to jump up and continue the daisy chain. So how do we jump up and continue the daisy chain? We're right here at the top hole of that drop duo. I'm going to go right up to the 11-0 seed beads, and I'm going to come out through that top 11-0. 1, 2, 3-ish, 4-ish more, couple more seed beads. Again, I want this to be kind of really organic, so I'm not going to focus on the distance between. I'm going to do one more little leaf. And then after this leaf here, back through the 11. And once we're done with that leaf, my thread end is just really wanting to twist up here. Get that thread end untwisted. There we go. I'm going to shorten my tail. All right, give a nice tight pull. And now on you go for your next one. So I'm going to do the yellow beside my flower. So I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish. And then once again, gold bead, pearl, and right back into it. You create your next flower, and your daisy chain continues on. As you progress, here's how your daisy chain starts to look. And you can see the 3 flowers there going on. That's all I'm going to do with the drop duos. If you want more, you can kind of put more back. But I'm going to take some jump rings and attach these beautiful Athena cast little 14mm flowers in between to give it a little bit more of that charm feel. I'm going to do that after the fact. I'm going to keep going after this last drop duo, and I am going to keep going with my pattern of the yellows next to the flowers and then up the chain to make it into that same length as the opposite side. Once you get to the end of the piece, we're going to use a wire guard, and I decided to switch it up. It was getting a little bit long, took some off the end, and I'm ending with 3 of my gold beads. I'm going to add on my wire guard, come back down my wire guard, go back through the last 11-0, reinforce by going back up through that wire guard one more time. Pull that down towards the center. Back up through the wire guard, down through the wire guard, back through that bead one more time. And here's where, if you want to, you can join and grab your daggers. So I have small daggers here. These are the 3x11mm daggers, just to add a little bit more of that pink color. I'm going to come back through the center of my project. And as I go back through the center of the project here, when I get to a leaf, I'm going to put that little flower bud on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of my beads here, go into the 15s, come out whatever 15 is before the 15 before the 11. Grab your daggers, 11, dagger, 11, go into the 15 after the 11, and back down through again. What this is going to do is just have that dagger hang out and add a little pop of that color. If you want to, you can also leave the 11 O's out. That's completely up to you. Coming out here then, I'm going to come out through the 15 near the dagger. If you want to, here I'll show you just going right through from the dagger, skipping the 15 after. This one here, you're just going to go through 2. And here's that look of just the dagger, getting some of that color in. Going to go to the next one here, add another one of those daggers, skip over the first 15 and down through the middle. If you are not adding the daggers, you can simply go right down through the middle, add a yellow bud if you want to of the 8-0 or a 15-0 in between when you get to your drops, and go back down through the side here in order to keep your tension and your design. So see how that just adds a little bit of that pink color to my cord here. Again, if you want just the little look of a bud, just put a little bead, a yellow bead there instead of the drop. The fun thing about this is there's no right or wrong for this design. As I go down then and keep going through, adding in that just little bit of pink to kind of fill out the design, I'll get to the end and add my wire guard there as well. So down through the center we go. I'm just showing you as you do those daggers. Here's that look that you're getting, kind of finalizing that little chunky look of this pretty little daisy chain style necklace. When you get to the end, I do the same thing on this side with the wire guard, putting on the ends here. Taking my thread burner then, I tie the 2 thread ends together and I'm just going to burn them down close next to the project. You really won't see it again. It has that green look of the seed beads, and I burn it tight down next to the piece. From here, what I did is I went in and to one of the leaves, I added on that gold piece there, and you can see as it straightens out that you have those little gold Athena casts then hanging down, making it look like a really fun summery charm necklace. In the back here, all I'm gonna do is take 2 jump rings, just like I did for the charms. I'm gonna open them up, attach my clasp, and finish up my necklace. Thanks so much for joining me in this Bloomkiss necklace. It's really fun to put some Athena cast on and kind of play with all of the different shapes and designs that you can make this fun little charm necklace out of. Remember, if you do need any materials, look below the video in the descriptions. We'll give you links to get back to our website. As always, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss anything from us here at PotomacBeads. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.